women's title. But yeah, if you've got John Cena in it, he's a great wrestler, and so is the Miz. I'll be interested to see how Maurice does. It's been a long time since I've seen her in the ring, so I used to think she was good when she used to be a wrestler back with WWE. So I hope she hasn't lost the beat, and I hope that she does well in there as well.
Well, she's been doing a lot of training for this match. She was in good shape, so I think that they've definitely put effort into doing what they're going to do. I think this could be a surprise. I think that I'm actually going to say this might be one of the more ones I enjoy on the night, just for entertainment value. Not too massive on the whole popping the question after. As far as winner goes, Matt, could they do something where perhaps there's a sneaky win for Miz, but yet the payoff is Cena proposing anyway, and that gets the good vibe? Or do you think this is all going to be Cena's night and Nikki Bella's night, totally? No pun intended.
I think by now, the Miz is used to getting the short end of the stick. I don't think there's going to be any hard feelings if he ends
Well, saying that, the Miz won at 27, don't forget. It's got that over him, I suppose.
Yeah.
Thanks to The Rock.
Feels like a lifetime ago now, that does. I think there is potential for that, but I feel like if they want to do this whole angle of the feel-good moment, and that it could be nearing the end of Nikki's career, or they could pop this question, I think the win with that is just that much more important to him, because they can look back and just say, remember when they won, and then straight after they did this.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to say Cena and Nikki Bella, I think, in this one. Matt, another prediction then. Does he pop the question?
This is the actual one that's really difficult, because the previous question was easy for me, but this one's hard.
I suspect the fans are going to be chanting this, aren't they? They're going to get to the point at the end of the match where everyone's shouting this stuff, surely.
Yeah, it's kind of cheesy as well, isn't it? Because when you talk to people about their proposals, everyone says, "Well, I don't want to do it when they're expecting it," and you've got to think Nikki is on a high level of expectancy here.
Like I said, maybe she says no. That'll get everyone talking. That'll do it. I'll tell you that much. Yeah, well, so Matt, we have to. Is it going to happen? From my end, I can't see it not happening, just because of the amount Miz and Maurice have been teasing it, and the expectation on the crowd. Surely they must know the buzz that is going around. There is an expectancy here. You never know. Maybe they'll just do it on screen, and not even in reality. But surely it will be reality. I just got a feeling with that guy being there from this morning news program, that's just a cue for Cena to get on Vince McMahon's private jet for the day after to go on that TV show with his new bride to be. So I'm going to say yes. For you, Matt?
I'll say yes, but I think it would be an incredible kind of angle, because if they were to go with this, I'd have to imagine that John Cena has already proposed.
Yeah.
And that they will just say, you might as well do it on screen now, have an on-screen proposal. But their real private and intimate moments would have been off of camera, and that this would have just been a natural follow-up to that.
Well, the thing is, you can imagine what happened next. SummerSlam, the wedding. The greatest match you've ever seen. Loser leaves, doesn't get married match, or something ridiculous like that, can't you? But make no mistake about it, that thing will get recorded, whether it be on Total Divas, Total Bellas. You'll see it somehow, that wedding. I can guarantee you it on that. So in any case, that's going to be an interesting one to see. I think the bookies should get in on that, by the way, the whole marriage proposal. I think they're missing out on that one, as a heads up. Okay, let's move on swiftly then, shall we? Past all this weird conversation of marriage in wrestling and all the rest of it. Stranger times. Okay, let's now head to Seth Rollins, Triple H. Matt, it's just been going on since, ages, isn't it? This is since we went to New York a few years ago, all this was happening, where Seth was, of course, aligned with Triple H. He was his guy, and then, obviously gets injured, and isn't the same since he's come back, and you know, it's been a very stop-start feud. Obviously, we've spoke about how long overdue it's all been. Obviously now it's non-sanctioned, and we got that whole thing going on. Triple H has cut some awesome promos. Seth Rollins, there's just something missing for him as a babyface. But I think he's, you know, there was once where he got a big pop when he come out, and you know, he sort of saved the day when Triple H was in the ring. I thought that was a good moment for him, but then it went on a little bit too long. For you, Matt, is this? I mean, we spoke about the feud enough. What do you make of how the match is going to go here? What are we supposed to expect? Because I've got a feeling this has a sort of feel like similar to when Triple H was against Sting. There's going to be a lot of smoke and mirrors in this. There's going to be a lot of interruptions and things going on of that nature. Would you suspect there's a moment for Joe in this, or do you think we're reading too much into that and it will just be a brawl between these two guys?
Well, I think the lack of Joe at WrestleMania is kind of conspicuous, isn't it? Mm-hmm. It's like, why have a talent like him called up only to do nothing with him?
Yeah.
It definitely feels like there should be a spot reserved for him somewhere, mm-hmm. and the fact that he has a connection with Triple H might be something to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we've seen him have a bit of a connection with Kevin Owens lately, so maybe that might be something. But mm-hmm. I'm sure throughout the night there will be something for Joe at some point. But as far as the match goes itself, I think it's kind of a strange way of booking it. The fact that Seth is not supposed to be 100% and that his leg is questionable and that he's going in there against Triple H. It kind of seems like the odds are kind of stacked in Triple H's favour. But the most annoying thing about this match is they've printed out like thousands of these T-shirts that say Kingslayer, which kind of
idiots.
Says to me, if they want to keep these T-shirts relevant, that Seth's going to win this.
Yeah, that is disappointing when they do that. But you know what? I just, for me, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking it's almost too predictable for something like this to go too right. And I've got a feeling that this isn't going to be finished here. I got a feeling this is going to go another month for their next pay-per-view and whatnot, like a couple of months, whatever it is. So because it's been going on for so long, this feud, I just don't see it being finished here. And I think Triple H will do like a couple of extra matches than he normally does after post-WrestleMania. But so, it's got me thinking that they may play on an injured Seth Rollins here, or there'll be some sort of schmoes happening in the match. I am almost swayed to say I'm going to go with a Triple H win here, which I know will sound a little bit odd. But I've just got that feeling that this isn't over, and Seth Rollins' payoff will be a little bit further down the line and not here, because I just don't know how ready Seth Rollins is. And by winning at WrestleMania, if he's not straight back on TV regular, how much of the buzz does that kick out of him for when we see him again? I think it would be better to wait until he's really 100%, then let him get the victory, and then let him go on and start his run towards going for whoever's got the title at the time as a babyface. But I could be wrong in all this, and maybe they do just want to shut this whole thing down, because I will say one thing, it's gone on far too long, this feud. Matt, as far as predictions go for you, who do you think's coming out on top of this one?
Well, this is one of the difficult ones. I think I have to say Seth, though.
Yeah.
It's just those T-shirts ruin it for me, If it wasn't for them, I'll maybe go the other way. It's just, I think Triple H wants to do his best to put Seth across as best as he can, so giving him a win somehow would do that. I mean, even if it's one of those situations where he gets the win, but then after the match Triple H is a bit angry and just decides to destroy his leg, giving him a few more weeks off or whatever, that I can see that maybe.
Yeah, that's a good point. That could easily happen. I think as far as the match goes, Matt, I mean, these two, they could have a good match. I just don't know how Seth Rollins physically is, and now I'm hearing that he's got a bit of a high fever as well. So I don't know what kind of condition he's coming in here, but I'm guessing the same as from you there, Matt, that the match itself shouldn't be a letdown, should it, on this one?
No, it should be a good one. I mean, they're both such great professionals, and, even like when they're sick or injured, they still do their best to put on a show. And at this night, the pressure's on even more, So I guess we're just going to see a great match regardless.
Absolutely. Okay, well, moving on swiftly. Now we've got the WWE Raw Women's match, and of course, Bayley, Sasha Banks, Charlotte, and now Nia Jax added to the equation. First, we thought it was Fatal 4-Way. Now it's an elimination match. I just think it makes it more confusing and not as. I mean, first of all, Matt, I just think we've had so many different same combinations of these four for a while now. I just would have preferred it to just be at least triple threat, or at very best, of course, I would have preferred a one-on-one. But it is what it is, like so many of these matches. But Nia Jax added to it. I don't know if I'm a huge fan of that, quite frankly, because it was right at the back end as well. And I feel like all the best moments have kind of gone. That being Charlotte's streak's gone. Bayley's won the title for the first time already. So, to be honest with you, the only one that could really gain something magnificently is probably Nia Jax. But, I mean, other than that, man, even for Sasha Banks, I just feel like it's not going to have the moment it should have had. Like, if this could have just been potentially protected, where we might have had Bayley, Sasha Banks and Charlotte, but Charlotte still has the undefeated pay-per-views. Bayley still hasn't won the belt. Could have been so much more into this, and you could have maybe had Bayley, I don't know, pin Sasha instead of Charlotte and all the rest of it, just to keep that going on, and then maybe Sasha and Bayley start a feud. Could have gone so many different ways. Matt, for you, the match itself, I mean, 4-way elimination, is it doing it for you, or do you think this is going to be this could be a bit of a nightmare?
Yeah, I don't think it's a great idea because, it just ends up hurting 3 people rather than 1. I would have preferred it if it was just a standard rules, fatal 4-way, because then only one person has to take the loss, get pinned, and it's fine. I mean, they've spent a lot of time this year building up the character of Nia Jax and just how tough she is. Sure. And then I'm assuming on this night we're going to see her get pinned and eliminated. And also, similarly, we're going to see Charlotte getting pinned and eliminated after she has had an incredible run of undefeated streaks, in pay-per-views. And then back-to-back, she has 2 losses back-to-back on pay-per-views. Doesn't quite add up to me, because I'm assuming the real kind of thing is between Sasha and Bayley, and is it a real friendship, or are we just seeing a sort of a game plan from Sasha and we're going to get that heel turn? I mean, I'd be for that heel turn myself.
Yeah, that'd be a good move if they did that. From what you're saying there, Matt, you think that the final 2 will be Sasha and Bayley?
Yeah, I would say that because, it would make sense to me. Just how good of a friends are they? That kind of story behind it.
Yeah, very, very much. Well, it's been a tough one to decide this for me. I mean, I've literally changed my mind. Even at one point, I even thought about Nia Jax coming out of this, just as a real unexpected sort of thing, and make a name for herself. Where it would be like the case of the 3 of the others hate each other so much that they're not really concentrating on Nia Jax, and she just sort of plows through them towards the end. But it's so difficult to know where WWE are going, because I feel like a Bayley win isn't going to, it's not that grand moment because she's already got the belt. It's a difficult one. I mean, from what you said there, Matt, your scenario, that makes perfect sense. That makes me want to go for Sasha Banks. But I just got a feeling they're not going to do that. I just don't know. I just got this feeling they're not. I've written down here before this, I've gone Charlotte. I'm still harping on that they're going to go there, even though it makes 0 sense after she's now lost. But the way this whole thing's gone, none of it's made sense, and that's why I'm going to say Charlotte on this one. So my pick is Charlotte here. to get that belt back. Matt, your pick for this one?
Yeah, mine's going to be Sasha. I think, it's time to stick that knife right